On behalf of UTPA and the Office for Sustainability, we want to welcome you and thank you for joining us. We have had these workshops for the last 2 years, and I see a lot of familiar faces, so thank you for coming back. And for the new faces, thank you for joining us, and we hope that you enjoy this and join us again for our upcoming workshops. We strive to become a model of sustainability here at UTPA, and so we are putting these educational workshops and seminars together to help educate our campus and our community. So we're really excited to and delighted to have you all here with us today. Again, as I mentioned, we have a wonderful, wonderful lineup of speakers for you. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to our Office for Sustainability team. My name is Marianella Quiroga-Quintanilla. I am the Director for the Office for Sustainability, and here next to me is our Program Coordinator, Ms. Weena Rutledge. I know that some of you have already met her, especially our speakers. She is an amazing Program Coordinator. Without her assistance, we couldn't have such a wonderful lineup. And also with us is Ms. Naomi Keith. She is our administrator, and she keeps both Weena and I out of trouble. She makes sure that everything gets taken care of so that everything seems seamless, and we can have these workshops set up in such a wonderful manner. So I want to thank them, and I hope that you have an opportunity to speak with them because, again, they are also extremely knowledgeable in the area of sustainability, and we are here to be a resource for you with reference to sustainable practices and products and services. This is the intent of these seminars, is to help educate ourselves and our community about the sustainable products and services that are available to us within our communities. So thank you once again. I also want to thank our annual supporters. As I mentioned, we have been doing this now for 2 years, and for the second year in a row, we have wonderful, wonderful generosity from our supporters from BBVA Compass Bank, Innovative Block, and I want to say a special thank you to Mr. David Reigart, who is here with us today from Innovative Block, and Lax Furniture. They have been supporting us from the very beginning, and we're really excited to mention that they are supporting us again this year. They believe in what we are doing and our educational efforts, and we thank them. We sincerely give them a great, great thank you. So please, a hand of applause for our supporters. Another special thank you to our sponsors for today's workshop. Today's workshop is sponsored by Teknion, Datum Filing System, Mannington Commercial, Division 7 Solutions, and OfficeSource. They have provided us the sponsorship to bring forth the wonderful speakers for today and also the wonderful breakfast, which I hope that you are enjoying. And later today, we will enjoy a very, very good lunch. So thank you to our sponsors. You will be hearing from them here shortly. The speakers, again, will be providing you a wonderful array of educational services, and we hope that you enjoy them and engage the speakers. We will have breaks, which we call networking breaks. We hope that you take the time to speak to each of the individuals that are here today because they, again, are providing us with wonderful information on sustainable products and services. No. Okay. We have also, I want to mention some upcoming events. Here in Edinburg on March 10th, which is this weekend, there's an event called Walk and Rolla, which we are a part of, and we hope that you will join us. It is promoting alternative transportation and helping people understand that walking and cycling is something that we should be doing a little bit more and more each day in terms of our health, our environment, and also for economic reasons. I think you all know today from looking at gas prices that gas is not going down in price, it's actually going up. So again, speaking on sustainable services, this is an event to help promote walking and cycling, so we hope you will join us for that. And later today, I am going to also show you upcoming events from our area, from our office. This is one that we hope you will join us at, which is March 21st. It's the HVAC Sustainable Practices Workshop. I know some of you work in facilities as facility directors, and some of you are architects and engineers that also provide services to some of our facility directors throughout the community, as well as design HVAC systems. So we hope that you can join us at this particular workshop to take a look at the latest and the greatest with reference to HVAC and those high efficiency systems and practices in HVAC. Without further ado, I am going to present you to, or introduce you to, the first of our speakers, who will be speaking on effective interior framework, reconfigure, reusable, and relocatable wall systems. And her name is Heather Jimenez, so please help me welcome Heather Jimenez. She is a district manager of the Central Texas region. Heather is responsible for developing and marketing Teknion products and services to newly established and pre-existing customers and dealers. Heather began her career in the furniture industry, where she spent 5 years as a registered interior designer, estimator, and project manager. She's been employed with a Steelcase furniture dealer, followed by Texwood Library Furnitures. She spent 5 years as an architectural and design representative for Wilson Art International. In this role, she was responsible for managing her Central Texas territory, including maintaining positive client relationship, sales, and product specifications. Heather joined Teknion in November of 2010 as district manager for Central Texas. Heather's ability to form lasting client relationships, as well as her positive service-oriented attitude and eye for detail, make her a great asset to the Teknion team. Please help me welcome Heather Jimenez.
Can you hear me? Okay. Well, thanks everybody for coming today. This is, I think, the biggest group I've ever presented for, so this is a little intimidating. I'm Heather Jimenez. I live in Austin, and I handle the Central and South Texas region for Teknion. We're a manufacturer of systems, furniture, conference, seating, reconfigurable wall systems, so that's what we're here to talk about today. We work through dealers, and I have one of my dealers here with me today, two representatives, Delilah and Kelly, so they're here with me today. They're good support, and Delilah's a local representative here in this area, and Kelly's from Austin. And we also have Brenda here today from Teknion as well. So I'll just jump in. Thanks for putting this together and letting me present for you guys. If you have any questions at any point, don't hesitate to interrupt me. We're talking about effective interior framework. So the goal is to discuss how reconfigurable wall systems can really help with the sustainable aspect of construction. So I'll just jump in. Let's see if I can figure out how to work this thing. Okay. So really, what is sustainability? There's a lot of different definitions. Some would say that LEED certification is a qualifier. Some might argue that it takes carbon neutrality to be green. And then there's the argument that it takes an enterprise and its product line to be environmentally neutral before it can be green. So really a better, more stable term is sustainability, which is the definition that you see here from the United Nations Brundtland Commission report titled Our Common Future from 1987. Sustainable development meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And this definition that you see here has really continued to serve as the foundation for current approaches for business and government on their journey towards sustainability today. So reduce, reuse, recycle. We've all heard the 3 R's. And it's really a sustainable design philosophy that encourages decisions at each phase of the design process. So it reduces the negative impacts on the environment and the health of the occupants, but without really compromising the bottom line. So it's going to impact all phases of a building's life cycle, you know, from design to construction to occupancy to decommissioning. So with that in mind, Teknion really focuses on sustainability, not only our products Greenguard certified, but also our manufacturing facilities level certified as well. So with that in mind, we're going to talk about two of our really sustainable products, our reconfigurable wall system called Altos and our seamless glass wall system called Optos. So first, let's discuss Altos. There's some pictures there. So really what sets us apart from other demountable or reconfigurable wall systems is our frame structure. It's a universal framework. It's made of 18-gauge steel. It enables easy relocation. It has modifiable features and fascias and components that are independent and easily movable. So first of all, do you mind grabbing I'm gonna let Vanna White help me out with this little baby wall. This is a little mock-up that we use in presentations just so you get a better idea of what the wall looks like. First, we're gonna come in with our ceiling channel. And this is the track that Kelly's pointing at. This is 18-gauge steel. This whole thing is very heavy, as you can see. And it's going to either hook into your ceiling tile system, or it's going to be drilled directly into your drywall ceiling above. It can attach to any ceiling condition. It has integrated holes where you can route your data and electric. And then it's got this rubber gasket material up on the top that's going to filter light and sound from going into the next neighboring room. Then we've got our base channel, and this is what sits directly on the finished floor, carpet, VCT, wood, anything like that. And this is going to offer additional stability to the wall with these rubber grippers that you see as well, so there will be no slippage, or we can, if it's a long wall, we can drill directly into the floor as well. We've also got a rubber gasket on the bottom as well, again, to block light and sound. Then we're going to come in with our vertical post, again, 18-gauge steel, and this is similar to general construction, same type of components. It's got 1-inch slots going all the way down the steel vertical post where you can actually hang furniture, much like on a wall or a furniture panel system. It's going to extend from the finished floor to the ceiling. It does have leveling capabilities on the top and the bottom to level it from 1 to 2 inches. It is standard for 8 to 12 high ceilings, 12-foot high ceilings, and your heights can be increased or decreased according to your site conditions. So if you're going from a 12-foot room to a 10-foot room, we can just cut that 18-gauge steel frame down in order remove the fascia. You've adjusted it for a shorter room. Or if you're going from an 8-foot high room to a 12-foot room, order a splice kit, order more steel framing, order an additional fascia. So you can see how this really contributes to the sustainability of the construction. Again, we can do custom heights. Then we're going to come in with our horizontal rail. This is what gives it its extra stability, and this is structurally required at 6 inches above the floor and 6 inches from the ceiling. You can see Kelly's pointing at it there. And once you've taken that fascia off, there's a 2.5-inch cavity on the inside for routing cabling and electric. Oh, there's also it also allows a like an aesthetic reveal between fascias. You can see it creates a black line, so you can designate those reveals anywhere you want, but they're always going to be at least 6 inches from the ceiling and 6 inches from the floor for that stability. Wiring and cabling, there's lots of different options. We could do hardwire electrics. You can have your electrician come in and do it. We could do field supplied electrics. We can do modular electrics, much like systems furniture. Or we can do a power and communications module that's going to connect onto those horizontal rails, kind of like you see here. Different fascia options. We offer glass, wood, laminate, fabric, and smart fascias, which are like work walls, slat walls. Here it shows the difference between the single and the double glass. Single is going to offer a different aesthetic than the double, and the double is going to give you also an enhanced acoustic level as well. Here you see some of our smart fascias, tack board, whiteboard, and accessory rails. So this is a great chart here that shows you the acoustics that are offered with the Altos wall. You can see here your single glazed clear glass offers you an STC rating of 32. You can achieve that same amount just with standard drywall with no insulation. If you do double glazed, you're already up to an STC rating of 38. Well, you can see here some of our standard wall elevations. Monolithic, which is going to hide all your horizontal reveals and give you a beautiful look, especially if you use wood. Your full height is going to show your base and ceiling fascias. Segmented working wall. These are all different options, but we can really do anything that you specify, any customization of the wall. We've done it. We'll probably do it again. We rarely do anything that's standard, it seems like. So anything your creative mind can come up with, we can do it. Altos doors, here's some options. We've got a pivot door, hinged, pocket, barn, double barn. These are available in glass, laminate, wood, laminate with glass inserts. So our next product that we're going to talk about is called Altos, and this is our seamless glass wall. The beautiful thing about Altos is that it can span 26 feet without a vertical support. It offers full glass panels up to 10 feet high and seamless transparency. The way it's constructed is a base channel and a ceiling channel, like you see here. And these obviously are going to be affixed permanently to the floor. And this glass is made of a 10 millimeter glass that's butt jointed together with a 2 millimeter silicone tape. So it offers a really great looking aesthetic as opposed to some of the wall systems that have like a plastic H channel or that ugly gooey tape that turns yellow over time. So here's it showing an up-close look. If we're going to turn on a corner like you see here, they actually miter the edges of the glass. So there's never an open space. You've seen rooms that when they turn a corner, it's actually just left open. Well, ours doesn't do that. It's sealed all the way around, so it offers a really great acoustic property. Here you can see the 90 and 45 degree corner angle options. We can do faceted glass to make a curved appearance. Again, it's going to be beveled when it's cut and joined together. And right here you see your barn door seal. Again, acoustics is always an issue that people bring up. So this barn door is sealed around all four edges. You can see the seal down here on the bottom, and then we do offer a seal in the framing, so when this door closes, it's completely sealed. There's not a big open cavity. Again, you can integrate it with the building structure or with our Altos wall. And door options with this: barn, double barn, single hinged and double hinged. You see this picture here? This is a really beautiful picture of the frameless glass door. So how do wall systems pertain to LEED? Well, this presentation applies to how LEED credits can be earned through the use of demountable walls. So we're just going to kind of review some of the points that are available with using our wall systems. You can easily see the advantage when you're renovating a space with demountable walls. This is going to pertain to credit 1.2. Recycling building materials recovered during construction keeps them out of landfills and decreases the destruction of natural habitats and resources. Construction waste, credit 2. The utilization of recyclable or reclaimed packaging materials obviously is going to avoid waste. Altos walls do not require cutting of finished floors or ceiling tiles since it sits directly on the finished floor and clips into the ceiling tiles. You're not having to recarpet, patch, send things to the landfill. Energy optimization, credit 1.1 and 1.2. You can really reduce energy consumption in lighting through the use of our glazed panels. So really the goal is to use glazing, anywhere you can. Credit 1.1 addresses energy required for lighting power. So the use of glazed panels and demountable walls helps improve lighting efficiencies and really affects the amount of energy consumed by artificial lighting. And then credit 1.2 addresses energy performance that can be gained using daylight response controls within 15 feet of the windows. Material reuse, credit 3.1 and 3.2. Obviously, altos can be reused, reconfigured, altered in any way to fit your changing site conditions. Recycled content, credit 4. We're a contributor to that. So a good rule of thumb really with reconfigurable wall systems or any product is to look for a product that's 90% recyclable, so that that's having less components going to the landfill. Regional materials, manufacturing and extraction within 500 miles of the end user location. Now, Teknion walls are produced in Canada, so that's not going to pertain to maybe the framing, but if you're working on a project that uses wood or glass, you can have the framing shipped in and still get your glazing and your wood from a local resource. That's credit 5. Certified wood, we can get FSC certified core materials. That is an option offered by Teknion. We actually also use flintwood veneers that assist with this credit since they're harvested from an FSC certified forest. Construction, indoor air quality management during construction. So really the goal here for credit 3.1 and 3.2 is to use contractors that understand indoor air quality during construction. Altos walls, they're manufactured in a factory. They come to you pre-assembled, so you're not creating dust into the HVAC system. This is really going to protect your workers during construction. Construction indoor air quality management pre-occupancy. Our walls are Greenguard Certified, so they're going to meet the criteria of indoor air quality pollutants that are allowable during pre-occupancy testing. Low emitting materials, again, they're fully assembled in a factory, so you're not going to require field assembly that involves sealants, adhesives, anything that's going to create VOCs. Credit 4.1 and 4.5. No added urea formaldehyde is available on our particle board or MDF. And daylight and views. So Altos walls specified with glass storefronts and return glazing is going to increase the viewing area and access to daylight. That's going to give you credit 8.1 and 8.2. And there's your innovation and design credits, 1.1 through 1.6. So how do Teknion wall systems really contribute to the changing workplace? Well, shifts in workplace design, really, we have to focus on a lot of things now, not just sustainability, but also employee satisfaction, cost of real estate's going up, changes, constant fluctuation in the workplace, and really your cost of ownership. So employee satisfaction and performance, access to daylight and views. We call this our right to light at Teknion. Physiologically, daylight's an effective stimulant, so we're always looking for daylight. A lot of electric light sources attempt to mimic the spectrum of daylight, but it's just not the same as natural daylight when you're using an artificial light source. Psychologically, we all desire a view to the outdoors. So really the goal, again, is to specify glass everywhere possible. Ergonomics, Altos really contributes to the ergonomic aspect of design. You have height adjustable work surfaces because you can adjust them in 1-inch increments up those 1-inch slots that we saw in the steel framing. Also your storage. Someone that's 6.5 feet tall may want their desk higher than perhaps me, who's 5'3". So that really gives you that flexibility to adjust your workstation and personalize it. We've got vertically integrated work tools and accessories, all integrated into the wall. You can see here, this storage is affixed directly to the Altos wall, so you also don't have another panel system sitting in front of the wall taking up additional space. Acoustic privacy. So we do have the option of adding insulation into our walls, and we actually use a recycled denim product. It is actually recycled blue jeans, and it is blue. It's really cool. But it does offer that added acoustic ability that we saw in that chart. Indoor air quality. We've all heard the studies of how it affects your overall health when you have poor indoor air quality. I love that picture. It increases or affects our overall health when we have poor indoor air quality. Some of our symptoms include headaches, nose, throat, eye, and skin irritations, nausea, drowsiness from VOCs that are being released into the air. How do we maximize our real estate performance? Well, workstations are decreasing in size because real estate costs are going up. So again, Altos really helps you take advantage of that. It lets you change according to fluctuations in your workplace. If you need to make 2 offices out of 1, you just put up a wall. If you need to make them smaller, you just move your wall over. And we're not going to damage our base building with Altos walls. Again, it's sitting on the finished floor, and the only place you're going to drill is into the architecture of the building when you start a wall. Maximizing real estate performance, create collaborative spaces. Don't have a designated conference room that's used 10% of the time. Have touchdown collaborative areas where you can really accommodate people for impromptu meetings. How do we increase our asset performance? Well, a really good tip here is to maintain an inventory of frequently used components. So have an inventory of parts and pieces, fascias, things like that on hand for easily, reconfiguring your space. It's also a good idea to train an in-house installation team for minor repairs or changes. You can even do this during the workday. There's no noise really when Altos goes up. It all goes together with a rubber mallet, other than when you drill into the architecture of the building. So you're not going to incur overtime, after hours, weekend fees for installation when you can do it during business hours. So really a recap, reconfigurable walls are obviously better for the environment than conventional construction. Provide mental and physical benefits for the workers and really increase your ROI. Do y'all have any questions? Yes.
The local distributors here in the valley, do they have any sort of interlocal cooperative purchasing agreement contracts like Texmos or Wideboard, Tips, Taps, PCPA?
They do. Do you want to answer that, Delida, or yes?
Yeah, I mean, we're on Texas contract, GSA. We're definitely on contract for walls and systems.
And I did a small little, about 500 square feet, traditional aluminum window frame, glass panels versus reconfigurable, and it was about 5 times the cost. Of course, the payback is how many times are you going to change it thereafter. In that application, it didn't make sense because we weren't going to change it probably for a long, long time.
Sure.
But right now, I'm thinking of a building where we do need a staging building that we can reconfigure about once every year while we reconfigure it, move someone in there, renovate their current area, and I'm thinking it would make a lot of sense. Do you have any sort of approximate premium that this would cost above sticks and bricks that you typically use?
It's hard to compare. It's just two completely different animals. So the upfront cost obviously is always going to be more. But when you're talking specifically aluminum and glass, that's easier to compare aluminum and glass. Those average about the same. But as far as Altos walls to general construction, it is a higher upfront cost, but you move it once. And really, it's paid for itself because you're using the same components and you don't have 5 to 10 different trades coming in. You don't have a painter, a floater, a trim person, a painter, a base person. You're not cutting the finished floor. You're not cutting the ceiling.
What approximate upfront cost premium would you throw out there? And the reason I ask is because I'm the person that has to sell this concept to our leaders. So I need to be able to say something, it'll cost approximately X% more than traditional, but I figured out already that it would pay for itself after we reconfigured it twice. I just need to have some sort of upfront
Like a dollar figure?
50% more, 100% more.
Is it on Texas? Your project contract?
Texmos or otherwise, just the general approximate.
Well, Texas is gonna give you a huge advantage because of the discount. So,
Okay, let's make it Texmos.
Texas, what we would have to do is, because each elevation that we showed you is gonna price different. So the cheapest way to go would be that monolithic laminate, and it's gonna be like the white, the beige, light gray. So that's gonna be your cheapest. So, I mean, it's hard to say unless we sit down and you say, I have this many linear feet, these are the types of doors I have electrical, these are the types of finishes for me to give you, because a glass door versus a laminate door, you're gonna have a difference in price there. So, I mean, we can get an estimate really quickly for you, and then you
I
can.
know if I build a steel building and insulate it and outfit it with walls and HVAC, it's gonna cost about 30% less than traditional construction if I put up block and what have you. So I'm just looking for some sort of approximate ballpark.
When I say could range between 300 and 600 a linear foot, if it's
Yeah, it's
not
gonna-
a Texmas, depending on what finishes you have, and that includes the doors.
Yeah, I would say a good average is 300 to 400 a foot.
Yeah.
That's usually what I use as an
Typically, if
average.
you do a double, if it's frosted, double glass.
Yeah, I would say that's a good average. Other questions? Yes.
How easy are these things to move?
How?
To
Well,
reconfigure?
well,
Something like people in the office can do? Or
No.
Do you have to come out and do it?
No, and I'll show you. Whoa. I'll show you. I don't know if you saw Kelly doing this while she was standing up here, but you can see how heavy this is. But these fascias, it requires a special tool, and you can actually lock them in place so that no one can take them out. Thank you. But it requires a special tool by an installer to actually pop it out, and I usually have a hard time doing it, but they're in there with these giant plastic clips. As you can see, it's not that easy. So there's these giant plastic clips on the back that clip into the steel frame, and they can be locked, especially if it's like an HR office, something like that where you need security. They can be locked into place, and it requires this little tool.
For you to change it, if you wanted to change certain things, you can get have someone at your office. But to make major changes and actually move, the actual wall, then you have to have a certified installer, because that's a 10-year warranty. And to keep that 10-year warranty, only a certified installer can do it. But if you were to change the modification going from a monolithic, one full piece, to you decide, you know what, we want some glass in that room, then what you would do is, you can order the glass, and that could be something that you could do, on your own.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So if you wanted to move the entire wall, then you would need a certified installer. So it has a 10-year warranty, and you need to have a certified installer actually move it. But to make modifications or to run electrical, that way you could pop off the fascias, you could run the cables through it. Or if you wanted to go from a monolithic, which would be one full piece, to a glass piece, or have a reveal or change it around, then that would be something that you could do.
Any other questions?
Questions?
We'd like to thank Ms. Heather and
Thank you.